Hey guys, what's up? We are back with some more reactions after dark, and of course we're going to be reacting to K-pop idol Hara helped expose the burning sun sex scandal in her final days, which of course I assume that means she died, question mark. Well, obviously we'll probably find that out. This is of course by Rotten Mango. This is part 2 of the Burning Sun series. So if you haven't watched the first one, go watch that. There is a part 3, which you might do tomorrow or soon. I don't know. I feel like I do need to like stop for like at least a day and maybe just do something short, like really short, like the new Masquerade video or something. You probably can't tell, but I was noticing yesterday when I was streaming that my voice was kind of like getting messed up, and I was just streaming for like over 5 hours before starting this recording. So I've already been recording or been talking for 5 hours on top of the Duolingo video I did as well. And now we're going to be talking for like another 2 hours. So I think I need a rest on the voice because I'm just streaming every day and doing rad videos every day. And I think it's taking its toll. So we'll see about what we do tomorrow. But maybe it'll still be part 3. Or maybe I just won't stream. But I'm kind of like locked into streaming because I need to finish the battle pass in Eternal Return. So, and there's that much time. Well, I mean, I have a lot of time. It's just I want to finish it before the new one because they run two at the same time in that game. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't think I have much else to say other than my voice might be weird or messed up today. I don't think it is, uh, outside of just how it it is normally.
Bada bing, bada boo.
September 14th, 2018. It's the middle of the night, around 3:30 in the morning. The police get a phone call from a young man. He's 27 years old, and he says that he'd like to report an incident of domestic violence, assault. This is the Gangnam police, and this is happening in Gangnam, South Korea. This is like the Beverly Hills, the Upper East Side of Seoul. He tells the officers that he just tried to break up with his girlfriend, and she beat him up, assaulted him. The Gangnam police show up to investigate, and when they get there, the man is further explaining, I just tried to break up with my girlfriend because her personality, if you know her, she's very passionate. That's the nicest way to put it. She just has this over-the-top, dramatic personality, explosive. Her temper is out of this world. She's quite hysterical. So I just try to break up with her, and she loses her mind, starts scratching him across the face, twisting his arm, assaulting him, screaming at him, "Who are you to break up with me?" The police look at the man, and he does have pretty deep scratches on his face. They're quite bloody, actually. There's one right above his eye that's bleeding into his eye. There's one on his forehead. The police ask, "Girlfriend's name?" Kuhara. Kuhara, the famous K-pop idol from one of the biggest girl groups of their time. This is a very delicate case, and they know this. The police start investigating, and there's just something that's not really adding up. If this man's story is true, why is there CCTV footage of Kuhara, the K-pop idol, on her knees, begging him to not do this to her? And why did he, the boyfriend, email Dispatch, a Korean tabloid similar to TMZ, twice during this so-called one-sided assault?
Okay. I mean, we all know it's like not. We all know it's fishy, is what I'm saying. But TMZ, you trying to get on the tabloids, trying to get on the headlines, just causing a scene just to try to get famous? Question mark. I mean, not necessarily famous, but just more publicity. I don't know.
And what does all of this have to do with the burning sun? A few months after this domestic violence incident, Kuhara will help reporters blow the lid off of the burning sun case. And less than a year later after that, she will be found dead in her apartment. This is part 2 of the burning sun case.
Of course, I gotta boot this. So that's unfortunate, right? Like, that was a year, like, in the past that she helped expose this case, but then self-deletes a year later, despite all that. I'm guessing she was possibly part of the...
Since its inception, they have grown into a global
She's part of the Burning Sun. Like she had got taken there who knows how many times.
Cyberbullying and Self-Exit Prevention Foundation. They provide education, intervention, resources, support, and inspire communities to eradicate bullying once and for all. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we would like to thank our listeners for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates. As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. A couple of disclaimers before we get into today's case. Today's case involves some heavy subjects including bullying, self-exit, essay, and abuse through blackmail of releasing explicit photos and images without one's consent. If that is something that you might think is too heavy for you today, please go take care of yourself, and if you need to, click out. We will see you in the next one. First and foremost, I do want to cite the BBC's new documentary that came out early 2024, so a few months ago, and everybody requested that we do a follow-up on our previous Burning Sun episode. The BBC documentary is free to watch on BBC's YouTube channel. They also have a 6-part podcast about Burning Sun that is also free to listen to on their website.
Yeah, I think I did see that thumbnail pop up at some point after watching the Burning Sun episode with Hara. I think that popped up on my timeline. Not that I watched it. I didn't watch it, but I think I did see that.
We had multiple researchers on the RM team work on this case. We tried really hard to make sure everything we say has been verified through the appropriate sources, or we indicate when something is a speculation or theory. But if anything is ever lost in translation, miscommunicated, or if you have any additional context or information, please let us know down in the comments. Also, this is part 2 of Burning Sun. This is following our initial episode that came out a few months ago, but in a few days, we will be uploading the 3rd and final part. There's a lot of updates. I mean, otherwise this video would have been 4 hours long. So with that being said, let's jump into a brief recap of Burning Sun. Even if you have no idea what we're talking about or watched part 1's episode a while ago, hopefully this recap is going to give you the lowdown on the case. In Seoul, South Korea, there were, at the time in 2018, 3 places where you can go if you want to see a celebrity.
It has been like a few days, right? Maybe in a week, if not longer since we've done this. I mean, I don't think I've forgotten anything, but it's fine to have this refresher.
K-pop idol in person. First would be a fan meet. There's always fan meets. Your second option is a little different, but similar, is go to a concert. You're not going to see them up close and personal, but you still see them in real life. And the third option was the one that marketed itself as the place to be if you want to rub shoulders with celebrities and the upper elite. The third place is the Burning Sun nightclub. It's located in Gangnam, and it was marketed as the it spot. Your chances of seeing an idol in real life would skyrocket, allegedly, if you go to the Burning Sun nightclub. In fact, Seungri, an idol from Big Bang, one of the biggest K-pop groups at the time, would often DJ and promote the club. Most people, if you're lucky, you gotta wait in line. The club is exclusive. You have to wait in line maybe for an hour to get in on busy weekends. But if you're the slim minority that is a VIP at an establishment like this, you get a unique experience, special treatment. The VIP table menu starts at $10,000.
Okay, we have the close-up of this again. Again, the weird
basic
bathtub.
Champagne package, but it can easily go up to $100,000 to get just 22 bottles of champagne.
Yeah, the weird bathtub special set of alcohol, and it's just a bunch of bottles in a bathtub with ice. Now that I'm seeing it, I was thinking it was like small thing, but is that actually a big bathtub? I thought it was like a small tub with bottles in it, but if these are like actually giant, like foot plus long bottles of alcohol, champagne, wine, etc., like that's pretty big. Because they're saying like that's almost a foot, right? So this is several feet long. I was expecting it to just be a little tiny tub. Not this massive tub, like a real life-size tub.
And super VIP treatment. But if you're a true VIP, you know that's not even the real menu. There's a secret menu at Burning Sun. And on it is just one thing. It's not even alcohol, but the most expensive thing. The most coveted top secret menu item is a tall glass of water. You had to be well known, and there's likely a threshold for the amount of money that you had to spend before you're able to purchase a glass of water, and you get a whole dedicated team or staff with group chats and drug runners to get you this glass of water. At Burning Sun nightclub, a tall glass of water is code for a young, beautiful, and most importantly, drunk, so they don't fight back, female club goer. The employees at Burning Sun would coordinate getting VIPs tall glasses of water into their VIP rooms. They would do whatever it takes to get them their secret menu choices, even if that means drugging these women. Their drug of choice at Burning Sun was typically GHB. Basically, they would roofie these female clubgoers that have no idea that the employees at Burning Sun are even doing this to them, which meant it's not even about covering your drinks from other partiers. The bartender is slipping it in. Which meant the drugged woman would be likely completely passed out to allow the VVIPs to do whatever they wanted to them, which typically included essaying them and illegally filming videos of them. There is a video of a woman being dragged into a VIP room, clearly unwillingly, and the employees do nothing to stop the situation or help her.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the moment the random guy who was going to this place saw. 'Cause if it was told in a way that that's what he saw and then tried to stop them, and then got beat up for trying to stop them, and then the cops showed up because he called the cops on them saying they were trying to do this to this woman, and then the cops arrest and beat him up for calling them to this place because the place said, "Oh no, it was him doing this stuff." Because again, the cops are in on this in on the Burning Sun. If you didn't remember that, or if you didn't watch the first part, the cops are in on it. So there's kind of like nowhere you really could have gone. But I'd said in the third video for part 3 of the real life Squid Game series that because they still had a dictatorship question mark in the 80s and 90s, we weren't too far gone from that possibly still spilling into the current population of the government, right? There's could still be people lingering around from then, and the cops were doing bad things on the say of the dictator still, and maybe those cops are still around because it's not like they got punished for that. So if they're still around, they might still be around during the Burning Sun, meaning of course they're going to be doing bad stuff because they were already doing bad stuff back when the dictator was around. And it doesn't matter that now it's a democracy; they still were crooked back then, so they're going to be continuing to be crooked now.
It seems like a normal day at the club. Burning Sun is one of K-pop's biggest scandals to date because it is revealed to the public that Seungri, the DJ who sometimes plays sets at the Burning Sun, the K-pop idol that you could go see in person if you waited in line at the club, Seungri of Big Bang, he's not just a DJ. In fact, he was one of the 4 directors of Burning Sun Entertainment, as well as co-founder of Yuri Holdings, a shareholder of the nightclub. Investigations also revealed that he was a member of various Kakao Talk group chats that had other well-known K-pop idols in the group, most notably JJY of Drug Restaurant, that's the band name, and Choi Jung-hoon of FT Island. The group chat messages exposed mentions of possible police collusion, tax evasion, illegal sharing of sexual images and videos, and the drugging and R-wording of women. These videos were shared into these group chats. Additionally, it has been stated that Seungri, as a way to get investors into Burning Sun to invest in his businesses, he would procure women to sleep with the VIP investors. The central figure in the Burning Sun case is Seungri from Big Bang. The chat logs can be split into 2 different types of activities. 1, which consists of Seungri sourcing women for his VIP investors, and 2, which consists of Seungri and other K-pop idols sharing videos of women that they have slept with consensually and sometimes not consensually, and videos of women that look like they are drugged and appear to be unconscious and did not consent to intimate relations or to being filmed. There were some supporters of Seungri, even after he pled guilty to so many of these crimes, that stated that he was not in any of the group chats that shared illegal videos of women. Even after our first Burning Sun episode, I actually got emails of people being like, you don't know what you're talking about. And that the chat...
I mean, is that confirmation that K-pop stands still exists? As when was this? A few years ago? Like a year ago? 11 months on this one. I don't know when the first part was. I think I talked about if K-pop stands are still a thing and how like crazy they were. Like people used to be afraid of K-pop stands, right? So I guess even now to this day we're talking about it, and she's being attacked by stands for these K-pop boys.
rooms are 2 unrelated group chats entirely. And to those people, I think that they're entitled to their own opinions, regardless of if it's rooted in reality or not. However, I do hope common sense finds you soon, and I do wish them the best in their journey of self-healing that will hopefully come one day.
Oof.
In May of this year, 2024, new footage and chat logs that have never been seen before were published by the BBC, where there is clear, irrefutable evidence that Seungri was in those group chats that shared explicit videos of women. One piece of evidence provided by the BBC, Seungri responds in a group chat to a video that is sent of an unconscious woman being essayed. That was released by the BBC. If you believe that Seungri is still innocent and not involved in those group chats, please tell Seungri to file a defamation lawsuit against the BBC, which he has not done so far, at least as of public knowledge, nor have we heard from his attorneys, even though we have been accused of defaming his great character. And
could they even do that anyways? It's a different country. Can you claim defamation on someone who, or a company that has, that's not from your own country? I'm guessing so, but whose defamation do you fall under? The country that you're from, or the country from that the person who's defaming you from?
And not to mention, a new video was also published by the BBC of Seungri angrily gripping a woman's arm, dragging her while screaming, shut up, follow me." She clearly tries to sit back down. She does not want to go with him. She seems intoxicated and is doing her best to resist. We have no further context to the video, but I don't think anything is needed. There are so many better hills to die on than that of a man who treats any woman, or anyone for that matter, like that. Regardless of any excuse, context, explanation that one can muster up, it's gross, and he's not going to pick you regardless of how many Medium articles you self-publish for him or how many...
Oof. I mean, throw in the pick me insult, because that's basically what she just said. She's calling these people who are K-pop standing with this guy a pick me, which I don't approve of throwing around pick me's here and there, but I mean, they are in the wrong, right? They're just crazy K-pop stands, right? Again, I didn't know they still existed, but they're just so delusional they're never gonna believe anything other than he's a precious boy, right? Like, that's just not gonna get out of their head. And sure, they probably are trying to get picked, but still.
How many Twitter essays you write. But one of the most important things that the new BBC documentary has highlighted is the, quote, whistleblowers of the Burning Sun case.
I do have this on 1.25 speed, if you didn't notice. I'll just shave off, like, what, 20 minutes? Because this is an hour and 20 again. I'm like, I just streamed for 5 hours. I've been streaming every day. I've been doing these videos every day. So I just want to, like, shave off a few minutes of this. The speed is making it seem a bit more aggressive than it probably is, but she seems like really upset about the stands coming after her, which that's rightfully so, right? I don't know if that's actually true, but it seems like she is like taking the gloves off, right? And she's like really going after these guys who are standing for this guy, which there's nothing wrong with that. That just seems that's what's happening here. She's like really going cutthroat on these stands. I mean, she even threw the pick me insult at them, essentially.
To give you some context, the news of what was going on in Burning Sun would start unraveling to the public November of 2018, not even a full year after the club opened. CCTV footage would come out involving an incident with a man named Kim Sang-gyo, who claimed that he was a club goer that was physically assaulted by the Burning Sun staff because he tried to prevent a woman from being drugged. Kim was arrested at Burning Sun on charges of sexual assault. However, he made his own allegations stating that he was trying to prevent a different woman from being assaulted by somebody else, and that the charges against him are indicative of collusion between Burning Sun and the police.
Yes, definitely.
Now, interestingly enough, victims, women who have nothing to do with this Kim person, have gone to the police to report all of what was going on in Burning Sun before this incident even happened. But it wasn't until Kim's situation that the investigation was kickstarted into the Burning Sun nightclub. So as a result, mainstream media news outlets began mass reporting Kim as the whistleblower of the Burning Sun case. Many news outlets even started casting doubt on the fact that Kim was also arrested. They suggested perhaps it's part of a big cover-up, since Burning Sun has connections with higher-ups in the police force, and that has been proven through their chat logs. Perhaps it's a setup. In June of this year, 2020,
The setup?
Kim Sang-gyo, whom the media labeled as the whistleblower, was officially charged, and the Supreme Court upheld his sentence of a 2-year probationary period with a deferred 1-year prison sentence. He was found guilty of molesting one employee of Burning Sun and obstructing business.
Is this fake, though?
A few netizens have used this prosecution as proof that Kim Sang-gyo was, quote, the real predator behind Burning Sun.
Okay, are we saying these are K-pop stands, or like, oh no, look, he's the bad guy, not my precious K-pop boy.
And that Seungri specifically was scapegoated, framed,
Yeah, not my precious K-pop boy. It wasn't him.
And his involvement was exaggerated to further push some sort of weird narrative, and some go as far to claim that Seungri is actually innocent. So much so that the hashtags apologize to Seungri and hashtag justice for Seungri started trending. Oh my gosh. However, the majority of netizens, with some common sense, believe, no, Kim Sang-gyo can be a whistleblower and a criminal at the same time.
Sure, but I'm on team that he was just thrown to the wolves by the cops because the cops are in on it. So I think he's innocent. Sure, he could be both. I'm not saying he can't be both, but I think we're just like full corruption. We're throwing you in the slammer for even trying to defy us.
Similar to how a K-pop idol like Seungri can leave a lasting imprint on the K-pop industry and be a criminal at the same time. Those things are not mutually exclusive. So for a few netizens that are still unconvinced, please take it up with the courts. The official guilty verdicts of just a few of the men involved in the Burning Sun, including the controversial whistleblower, are as follows. JJY was found guilty of gang R-wording, filming and distributing illegally recorded videos. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Choi Jung-hyun was found guilty with gang R-wording and sentenced to 2.5 years in prison.
Even less than that.
Sing Lee was found guilty and charged with overseas gambling, the embezzlement of millions, procurement of prostitution, mediation of prostitution, spreading illegal pictures, instigating violence, and other small business-related charges. He was sentenced to 18 months in prison.
Which, even less?
Which he pled guilty to. Kim Sang-gyo, the quote whistleblower, was found guilty and charged with molestation and obstruction of business. He was sentenced to 2 years probation and a deferred prison sentence of 1 year. All 4 of these individuals were found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt until irrefutable evidence comes out, which I haven't seen a single solid piece of evidence that is verified and can actually be argued in the court of law in any of the Twitter essays, Twitter graphics, long threads, Medium, self-published articles. I haven't seen anything. Until irrefutable evidence comes out and officially exonerates these men, those are their sentences, those are their crimes, and those are their records. If you want a further deep dive, feel free to watch our previous episode on Burning Sun, which will be linked in the description. But one of the more important aspects of the new BBC documentary is that it has shed light on 5 women that are responsible for exposing the Burning Sun scandal. The 5 women who honestly should be remembered as the real whistleblowers and the ones who blew the lid on Burning Sun. This is the story of how one woman's police report would kickstart the entire case, a second woman who secretly dropped 3 USB drives off at a lawyer's office containing all of the evidence, the third woman who suffered death threats and 2 miscarriages and still would not back down because she believed the public deserved to know the truth, the 4th woman who risked her entire career to conduct her own investigation, find the victims herself, and go up against the police, and the story of a 5th woman who sacrificed friendships in order to track down a corrupt police official and who would be found dead in her apartment before anyone could say thank you. Reporter Kang inserts a USB drive into her computer. And
we haven't heard about this woman before.
Now it's the waiting game. It's taking longer to load all these files, a lot longer than she initially expected. I mean, she kind of had an idea of what was going to be on the USB drives. Her friend, who happens to be an attorney, called her, and he's like, hey, I need you to take on this big case involving this massive K-pop star that is allegedly involved in some shady activities in their private lives. A whistleblower had dropped off 3 USB drives filled with evidence at the attorney's office under one condition. She remain totally anonymous. Both the attorney and reporter Kang have a vague idea of what's going to be on these USBs. 3 years ago, there was this incident. A woman had walked into the police station and reported that her boyfriend had secretly recorded explicit videos of her. The boyfriend is brought into the police station, but he states, unfortunately, oopsie, my phone is broken. What do you know?
Oh, yeah, we know about this one in the first part. That he broke his phone on purpose so they wouldn't be able to get it. Then the IT guy was able to still get all the information and held onto it for several years before making it public.
Like, what are the odds of that? He has his phone taken to a private third-party tech shop to recover the deleted files to show the police that he did not have those files of his former girlfriend on his phone like he was accused of. Now, the anonymous girl working at the tech store receives a phone call from an attorney. And they want to talk about the phone that's sitting on her desk right now. The attorney tells her, more or less, let it go. You don't even have to touch the phone. Just say that you went through the phone and you couldn't find any files. Tell the authorities that there's no files to be recovered on the phone. It's a big misunderstanding. Even the authorities want to just get this case over with. It's a nuisance. It's very, very, very shady. And of course, it piques her interest. She's able to recover all the files on the phone, but she doesn't just find the video of the ex-girlfriend, the one that reported him to the police. She finds hundreds of text messages, countless videos and photos of other women that seemed drugged, unconscious while being essayed. And the phone's owner? The famous, beloved K-pop idol, JJY.
Yeah, because he couldn't help himself with staying inside the chat log, the chat rooms, which apparently if you all leave these specific chat rooms, they just completely delete themselves and everything inside. But he could not help himself from staying in these chat rooms, and he was the last one in all these rooms. And everyone else just assumed that they were just gone and deleted, but he was still sitting in them.
The girl working at the tech store makes a digital copy of all the files on his phone and collects 3 USB drives worth of evidence. Evidence that she sits on for 3 years because...
Okay, so we referred to the IT person as a man before, but I guess we're retconning that, and it's actually a woman and not a man. Because before we were talking about a IT man, but I guess it was an IT woman. I guess they didn't know that information last time.
Because she's terrified. She finally finds the courage to send them anonymously to an attorney. Reporter Park was the one that initially reported on this case. So Reporter Kang has the USB drives. This is a completely different reporter. This is in 2016. She hears about the police report of JJY's ex-girlfriend alleging that he has videos of her, explicit videos that she did not consent to, on his phone. She writes a few articles about this, and she gets torn apart, ripped to shreds, because by this point, there is no proof that JJY, the idol, had recorded videos of his girlfriend without consent. In response to Reporter Park's articles, JJY holds a press conference where he states, "First of all, I sincerely apologize for causing controversy with this incident. The woman who pressed charges against me was my ex-girlfriend, and even though we split up, we remained good friends. The video in question was filmed as a joke with consent, and it was deleted right away. I've been working a lot recently, and that led us to arguing. And in the middle of that argument, she filed a complaint to the police against me. But since being questioned by the police, she has withdrawn the charges." Reporter Park is ripped to shreds. Comments on Reporter Park read, "Park trying to up a person's life with her stupid article. Breaks my heart thinking about JJY crying about all of this. Seriously, go die, Reporter Park." Look at that face on Reporter Park. It makes me want to stomp on it. What a bitch of a fucking filthy lower class jealous of these men. If her network doesn't fire her, I'm gonna set their building on fire. Reporter Park would receive death threats, explicit photos of private parts. She would be doxxed and bullied for years after these articles that she published. She was scared for her life, stressed, terrified, villainized, and ultimately she miscarried twice, and she lost her ability to have children after that. Nobody believed her. But now, 3 years later, Reporter Kang has the USB drives that the tech shop worker had copied and kept as evidence. Reporter Kang starts feeling the nerves creep up on her. The files are done loading. She clicks on the first file, and it takes her a few seconds to even understand what she's looking at right now. It is not the ex-girlfriend that initially made the report against JJY. It is a video of a completely different woman, naked, in a bed, and she looks like she's on drugs, or she's practically asleep. She looks completely unaware of what's going on and what's happening to her, and the fact that she is being sexually assaulted right now.
By JJY?
Yes. Reporter Kang says her heart starts beating faster and faster. She clicks the next video file, and it's another intimate act, a woman engaging in oral activities with a guy, but it seems like she doesn't know that this is being filmed. It seems like it's being covertly recorded. There's a video where a woman is clearly unconscious. Some of the other ones, it's hard to even know if they're consenting or not because it's hard to know if they're even awake. You can't really say for sure, oh, they're awake or this is just, you get it. A lot of the videos look like whoever is filming wanted it to be filmed without that party's consent though. So already illegal. File after file, there's more K-pop idols with wholesome, beloved images that are using women for and sharing videos of them in these Kakao Talk group chats. And it's not just JJY. The four main names that stick out to her are Seungri from Big Bang, JJY, whose phone copy this is, Choi from FT Island, and someone the members keep referring to as a police prosecutor general. Police
What? What was
from
that?
FT Island, and someone the members keep
Some other bar and took a something load of photos of the interior yesterday and snitched, but the police prosecutor general said they are snitching because they are jealous, so not to worry, and that he'd sorted out. Hee. Okay, so they're saying that this police officer, police general? What is a police prosecutor general? Is it like a high up police officer? Is it like really that high up in they got corruption that high in the police force for them, the Burning Sun specifically? Again, like I was saying, in the Squid Game series, that I refer to it as a rot because I didn't know what else to say. The rot in the government is just still so deep-seated from the dictatorship era that who knows how many people are still around from that, or who's still there because their children could be now are working in the government as well. And you can't just get rid of 1,000 plus cops and then replace it with fresh new people who are not related plus even if you did that, maybe they are secretly in cahoots with the corrupted people, right? I mean, there's no way to flesh that out unless you just hope that over years and years and years, maybe even a century later, it'll be gone, but it probably won't be.
keep referring to as a police prosecutor general. Police prosecutor general, someone high up in the police. Reporter Kang realizes that she just uncovered hundreds upon hundreds of text messages, including photos and videos of women being secretly filmed during intimate relations and even videos of SA being circulated between famous celebrities, wealthy business investors, and a powerful police official. Reporter Kang is shaking at what she's reading. One message thread is of Seungri procuring women for his investors. He texts into the chat, "This Christmas, instead of us having fun, let's make others happy and feel satisfaction vicariously through that. Chairman Oe sends his yacht with crew and chefs from Japan to Busan every summer for us, so let's give him some fun this time." In another message, he writes, "Girls, get the good ones that give it good." A man named Kim responds, "I'm calling them right now, but I don't know if they'll give well. I wonder if they're only giving well, considering it's you guys." JJY writes, "The Chinese ones will like the girls that look like they have a lot of plastic surgery." A man named Yu responds, "I'm getting the prostitutes ready now. When the two of them get here, Mr. K can take them to the hotel rooms."
Should they be using better lingo than that? Just saying prostitute instead of like water or whatever the heck it is that they want to refer to them as.
In another message, Seungli writes, "Wasn't yesterday's party so f***ing awesome?"
I guess they don't really care in these texts. They assume the chat rooms are going to be, nuked or bombed or whatever they were referring to them before. Like bomb the chat, something like that. That's how they were saying it. Of course, this guy who couldn't leave these chat rooms made sure that didn't happen.
"I can acknowledge that girl. I'm so into her. Her sister's also really fine." JJY responds, "Right, her sister was a real surprise. There were a lot of hidden gems yesterday." The guys complained that there were too many guys at the party, to which Seungli writes, "We can just get rid of them. Let's have them together. All of us. In Korea, we can just have them all together and I'll just go marry a foreign girl." In another, JJY writes, "Let's all get together online, hit the strip bar, and rape a girl in the car."
Wait, hold on. You say one of the Sony say like have them in Korea and then I go marry a foreign girl?
Yeah, so they're talking about how they don't want to marry a passed around girl, basically.
Wow.
Then a series of text messages were sent into the group chat after a fan sign that a few of the idols had attended, and they giggle about how one of the girls was so drunk, well, or potentially drugged, that she tripped and hit her head so hard they heard her skull cracking.
Oh, I got so scared yesterday thinking that the girl had a real concussion. Sound her skull cracking when she fell. But Brother Jung and I were really surprised, and then Jung crying, laughing emoji.
They were so terrified that she was going to die. Laughing emoji, crying emoji. They stated it was the funniest thing in their entire life. They sent those messages after gang R-wording a fan from their fan meet. Another thread is of a group chat member stating he has a girl with sleeping pills in her and he did her. In other messages, they joke about how they don't like when they send videos of girls that are passed out and being essayed because it looks like they're not even alive. One of them argues, "So what if she's out of it?" To which JJY jokes, "That means you raped her, LOL." Reporter Kang clicks on another message thread. January 2016, the ski trip. A video is sent to the group chat while the guys were on the ski trip, and the video is 24 seconds long. It does not appear that the women in these videos know that they are being filmed. In fact, it doesn't even appear the woman knows what's going on. The video is of a man on the sofa pulling a woman's undergarments aside and touching her down there, but she looks slumped over and unconscious. Another photo is of a man's hand touching a woman's breast. Another video is filmed from the second floor of the ski chalet, peering down onto the first floor, where the women, again, are clearly not aware that these videos are being taken.
Hey, where the heck even is that? That's not even the Burning Sun. I know she just said, like, the location name, I'm guessing, but I don't even know where that is.
Another video is of a man walking through the hallway, opening the door to a bedroom to see a man having intimate relations with a woman. It is impossible to tell if she consents to the intimate relations, but clearly she doesn't know that she's being filmed. Seungli responds in the group chat, because he is in the group chat. He responds, "Who is it?" The friend Kim responds, "Hee hee, redacted's friend, redacted. The one who talks a lot?" 1 minute later, he sends 3 more pictures. According to the BBC, all 3 pictures depict the R-wording of unconscious women. These messages are from 2016. 2016 is when Seungli and his group that he was a part of, Big Bang, were ranked one of the most powerful celebrities in all of South Korea. They were the first Korean artist to be included in the Forbes Celebrity 100 list. They were technically on top of the world.
Wait, 2016, that's before Burning Sun opened.
Yeah,
So they've been doing this type of things
Yes.
like without the nightclub.
exactly.
And nightclub only almost provided a space for them to do it even bigger.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that just because I don't remember when this was taking place, like the year for this. So, I apparently we just learned that they've been doing this even before the Burning Sun.
Nightclub employees that were interviewed for Burning Sun said the VIP rooms almost seemed intentionally constructed to be in the very back of the club where no one can hear anything. And it was under a hotel. In 2016, Seungli is on top of the world. That's all people are talking about. That and Big Bang's new song, Fantastic Baby, the first K-pop music video to pass 300 million views on YouTube. The only other thing in the K-pop world that received that much attention in 2016 is probably the fried rice picture. A picture of fried rice goes viral in 2016. 2016
No clue what the heck she's talking about there.
is a very strange year in the K-pop world. A K-pop idol by the name of Sully, or Sully, goes viral for her Instagram picture of her fried rice.
Okay.
This is the picture. You know those like hibachi grills, like silver top grills? Well, there's a pile of fried rice on there, and
It's I love you, but sure. Sure.
And the rice has been rearranged to look like it spells I love you, I heart you. But the I is shaped like a private part. And there's
Yeah.
2 eggs at the bottom that
Sure.
look like balls, right? Sully posts that onto her Instagram and quickly deletes it. But it's too late. She's a K-pop idol. It's already been re-uploaded by netizens, and comments read, no way she actually did that. What
Yeah, I felt like you would get in trouble, right? Since you're supposed to be, it seems like you're supposed to be this perfect uh, human being, it seems, as a K-pop idol, and that's too raunchy. You'll get in serious trouble. I'm assuming management really had a field day with that. We're really upset about that.
a crazy bitch. She must be getting some really good D right now. I honestly think once her attention drops, she's gonna release her own intimate video online. Wow, her boyfriend's D must be like a drug. I'm actually worried for her parents. A sane person wouldn't even post this on their private Insta. Are her parents not embarrassed for having raised their daughter like this? This was the confirmation for netizens. That little fried rice picture was confirmation that Sully, the K-pop idol, is a sex addict. Another comment reads, she's a sex addict. She needs therapy. It's like she was born to be an adult star. Have you heard of the group FX?
Yeah.
Of course not, because I don't know anything about the K-pop scene, but yeah, no clue who this group is.
They were one of the most iconic groups in K-pop, and Sully was a member of FX. Sully has this very ethereal quality to her. She looks like a fairy. That's what she was known for. People really, really love Sully. She's very angelic looking, talented, and it's really hard not to root for her. When she first debuted, it was released that when she was younger, she would
Yeah, I mean, this looks like a child.
to go to this church retreat where these 2 girls would repeatedly bully her. They would hold her head underwater and not let her come up, nearly drowning her. Since then, Sully suffered from severe aquaphobia, and she wasn't even able to wash her face properly for the longest time. But she's like, that's not gonna be my life. I am determined to challenge myself and overcome it. So one of her biggest bucket list items was going scuba diving, which she is eventually able to check off. She has this very it factor about her. A famous director would even say she's confident, shines under bright lights, and has the face of a princess. Of course she was going to be famous. 2013, 3 years before the fried rice scandal, Sully's image comes crashing down. She is caught by the paparazzi spending time with this rapper named Choiza, or I guess the English pronunciation would be Choiza. There is just a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, again, I think with K-pop idol stuff, you're not supposed to be seen with men. I don't know if it's the other way around for the guys. If you're not allowed to be seen with women, because again, well, not again. I can't help but saying again, because again, you're supposed to be seen as perfect. You're available, so that women or guys can imagine that they'll be able to get with you or whatever, etc., etc.
Choiza is around 33 years old at the time. Sully is 19. They have a 14-year age gap. On top of that, Choiza's rap name is allegedly after his, quote, large penis. So at first, both parties do not confirm the dating rumors, but a netizen posts on a forum about how they found Choiza's lost wallet and it had pictures of Sully in it, which, like, what are the odds? People start going crazy at this point. Again, their agencies are still denying the dating. SM Entertainment, the agency that Sully is signed with, says Choiza is only a senior in the industry who's like an older brother to Sully. They are not dating. Since they're close, though, they do meet often. Eventually, the relationship gets confirmed and all hell breaks loose. It's just unleashed on mainly just Sully. I mean, I think we can all have our differing opinions on what age gaps we're comfortable with, but their relationship is not illegal. She was of age when they started dating. And I personally feel like I can't comment considering she seems to have a lot of love for him even after they break up. But I would hope that they were just good for each other, right? But there is a problem with how netizens react to the news of their relationship.
I mean, I'm assuming they jump on her, right? We've already said that, but it's just how it works with K-pop stuff. It's specifically with the female K-pop stuff. I don't know how it works with the men, but they are bloodthirsty. They basically just want you to be single forever and innocent, and I don't know. Just, you cannot have a boyfriend. I know that's part of the rules of being a K-pop idol. There's no boyfriends, no men.
After it's confirmed, news
That's like one of the only things I do know.
starts coming
feel
out
like-
about how Choiza is this romantic guy. He writes love songs for his girlfriend. That's the image that he's receiving in the media. Meanwhile, Sully's Instagram is flooded with people calling her a sex addict, mainly because she's dating someone with a stage name that refers to his private parts, which he even later states he regrets his stage name for the sake of his mother. She's so mad at him for it. He wishes that he could change it, but it feels too late now. Basically, netizens feel like Sully is a for dating someone older than her, and on top of that, they start dissecting her Instagram pictures, ripping them apart. This is like the beginning of microanalyzing every single picture that she ever uploads. Her every little movement, her every little breath is microanalyzed. These are just a few that netizens have a lot of issues with. One of them just shows her wearing a cute mini dress that is sheer, but you can't really see anything other than the outline of her thighs. Another one is her near a poster of a woman's butt. And it's like those cheeky little shops, you know, and they have the neon lights. And she has her hand on the butt and she's looking back at the camera pouting, fully clothed, like modest clothing at that point. Another one of her is doing a split, fully clothed, but it's not even a split. It's like a regular Pilates pose. She's just doing a back handstand and it's like splitting. It's a Pilates pose. It's working out. And another one of her is in shorts, leaned up against the wall. All very normal, if not even pretty tame pictures to post on Instagram for a celebrity, but some netizens truly believed this was confirmation that Sully is a full-blown addict. They started flooding her Instagram with comments like, Sully's a star now. Is this really the sweet Sully we knew? She just becomes crazier and crazier. Is she out of her mind? She just wants to suck Chueja's private parts. She has no talent, but she's good at being a pervert. She's ruining her own life. Where is the pure and innocent Sully now? I don't like her anymore. She's a... One netizen sums up the quote controversy really
Yeah, again, they just want them all K-pop idols to be pure and these pure, innocent little angels, right? That's just how I think it's supposed to be. It's the same thing with, I think it's probably the same with the guys-ish. Again, like, where these stands are, like, even apparently to this day, standing these K-pop boys, despite what they did, they're still trying to say they're just pure, innocent little boys who wouldn't do this, right? Even though that's couldn't be far from the truth.
well, which is an idol performs as a sexual object, but must pretend does not exist. So they're saying SM Entertainment and all these agencies in K-pop will sexualize their idols to nobody's end for commercial success. But the minute that the idols themselves choose to do something with their body, that's not even inherently sexual. It's disgusting, it's vile, it's filthy.
Right.
It's like this weird, sick gaslighting game that these people are playing on themselves. The controversy...
Just to bring it up, because we can probably throw this under that wheelhouse that I think I've heard it said that North Korea still, I mean, I think this is probably the easiest way to say it. South Korea still has or it does have, I don't know if it's still, maybe it's just new, has a, like, misogyny issue, question mark, and this is kind of just that. Like, most of the men there are just misogynistic incels, question mark, and that's where you get stuff like this from.
Controversy becomes so big that either indirectly or directly it leads to Sully leaving FX, the group. She states that she will still be managed under SM Entertainment but will pursue acting. It is around this time that Sully starts spending a lot of time with another famous K-pop idol.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is about the burning sun, so something bad's gonna happen here.
Hara. The two almost become best friends, inseparable, and they will die within a month of each other.
They both die.
Hara is a singer that debuted with the girl group Hara. So both of them are from like the most massive girl groups of all time. Hara was huge back in the day. They are one of the most memorable girl groups. They were one of the most popular South Korean girl groups in Japan. And out of the 5 members, Japanese netizens once nicknamed Hara specifically the most beautiful Korean girl group member. In Korea at one point, she was even nicknamed Gu Barbie. And around the time that Sully's dating scandal breaks, Hara has her own dating scandal. She's photographed at a park, walking around, holding hands with a man. It's nighttime, so it does seem like the two of them are walking around at night to avoid being seen. It seems more of like a private little escape. That's what it looks like. The man in the picture with Hara is Highlight band member Young Junhyung.
And Highlight is a K-pop group.
Yes. And just wait, he's gonna come back around during Burning Sun.
Okay, well, another Burning Sun guy.
Interestingly, but not surprisingly, Sully and Hara are the ones that are mainly criticized and bullied for being in a relationship with other famous celebrities. At the time, the two guys, they don't really get much, if any, backlash. Sully is accused of being a sex addict and a whore for dating someone over a decade older than her. Interestingly, he doesn't get hate for dating someone a decade younger than him. And as for Hara, a lot of toxic netizens just hate the fact that Chunyoung didn't choose them and that he chose Hara. Even though this is Hara's very first public relationship, she's a full-fledged adult, netizens give her the title of being boy obsessed. Even though she spends almost every waking hour at work, performing, practicing, doing tours in Japan, in South Korea, and doing other work-related events, she is considered boy-obsessed. All she can think about in that pretty little head of hers are boys. At this point, some netizens are so riled up about her relationship with Highlight member Chunyoung that they're willing to do anything to prove that Hara is not worthy of dating him. Some netizens make it their full-time job to find something, anything that's going to confirm what they've all been thinking. Hara is not special, she's really not that pretty or talented, and she's not deserving of Chunyoung. That's what they're thinking. They're honestly like vultures. They act like they're working for the CIA when in reality, they're not being compensated. It's not their job. They're weirdly obsessed. And instead of arguing something is for national security, they're just straight up trying to bully someone on the internet. Someone that doesn't even know that they exist.
K-pop stands. I mean, they were crazy, but again, apparently they're still around. I think I'm going to drop this down to normal speed now. I mean, that's not gonna. Like, we didn't get too much time shaved off of this, but I think I want to go ahead and play at normal speed now. It might sound weird since we've been so used to it being 125.
And they find what they're looking for. They dig deep into Hara's old social media from.
Okay, it seems fine. This is how it normally should be sounding. But usually, if I watch something like at 2 times, because this wasn't 2 times, it was just 125. So it's as the smallest amount of speed that you can add to a video. But if I watch something at 2 times and then take it back to normal speed, it's like normal speed's too slow. It's like it might as well be in slow motion, and like I need to watch it at a higher speed.
From before she became famous, and an old picture of her resurfaces, kissing her boyfriend at the time. It's not even like actual, it's like a light little, and there's a picture taken. They keep digging. They come across a series of photographs that look like Hara and her then boyfriend. This is again before she's famous, and her boyfriend's also not famous. There are a series of photos that look like, from context clues, they're celebrating her birthday and maybe a dating anniversary. That's what it looks like, which is fine, but netizens find a few problems with it. First, in this series of pictures, there's one photo of Hara and her boyfriend taking a picture in the mirror.
He's using a camcorder. Is that why this is a problem? Because it's a camcorder? I mean, she is touching his shoulder, sure, but don't tell me it's because of the camcorder and what a camcorder can imply.
Her boyfriend is holding up the camera and she has her arm around his shoulder. To me, the picture looks really normal.
Okay, it's just the shoulder, really? I mean, that's even worse.
But a lot of people
That's what everyone's like upset about.
Arm around his shoulder. To me, the picture looks really normal, but a lot of people said that looks very suggestive and sexual.
No.
Then some of these netizens do more digging. They look for any sort of identifying pieces of furniture or layout in the place that the pictures are taken, and they cross-reference them with houses, hotels, pensions in the area, and they come.
They're really just tracking them down, doxing them as hard as possible.
To the conclusion that the couple were renting out a pension for this anniversary event. A pension, first of all, it's staying the night together at a place, which is crazy to them. Now, to give additional context, a pension is a short-term rental. It honestly is just like renting out an Airbnb, but Korean netizens have stated the idea of spending the night at a pension with your significant other is regarded in Korea as the same as spending the night at a hotel or a motel with your significant other. Basically, you mention the word pensions and Koreans will assume is involved. Then the third thing that netizens hunt down is the picture of Hara. And the picture is horrendous quality, but you can tell it's Hara, and she has this cake in front of her, and they count the number of candles and discover she's turning 17. When all of this starts circulating on the internet, Hara's friends come out to say, actually, we were all there celebrating her birthday. You can't see us in the pictures, but we were all there celebrating her birthday as a group, and this is wild. You guys are insane. Like, netizens need to calm down. The netizens are on a rampage, though. They're out for blood. They're not going to stop now. They go as far as calling the listed pension, asking about reservations that would have been made that year under the name Hara. No? Then what about these names? The list of Hara's friends that came out and said that they were there. The manager stated there were no reservations under those names. The netizens take that as, okay, that means it must have been under Hara's boyfriend's name, and it must have just been them as a couple.
K-pop stands, man. They're crazy. And she said, specifically, we're probably assuming these are the fans of the guy, even though the guy who's we're talking about right now, that's not the same guy, but it's because they're fans of her new boyfriend that they're digging this deep to get dirt on her because of that. So it's like, this is like a new word that people are throwing around. They're like femcells, because I just use the word incel, so I might as well just open up the whole can of worms now, right? We have like femcells here because we have incels. The K-pop stands are just going crazy that I might as well. She used the term pick me earlier, so I'm going to use it now too. They're just like the pick me's, right? Who want this guy, the new guy, and because they aren't being picked, they are just trying to go after her so badly. and they're just femcels, right? Obsessed with these K-pop boys. Like I don't even
They go back to
assume
the fine print.
these are incels doing this because just because she said it's people who wanted the guy. So I'm guessing these are just femcels going after this girl.
Hara's boyfriend's name, and it must have just been them as a couple. They go back to the fine print of the pension listing website, and it says this specific pension only allows reservations for couples. They go through the listing photos. You can see a shower is made of glass, and you get a clear view from it from the bedroom, so it kind of feels like a love-centered pension. The netizens say this is basically a love motel. So there. They did it. They did all of this work to prove that Hara maybe had underage, or maybe she just rented out a pension so she could hang out with her boyfriend. From then on, there would be articles about Hara. One article would be titled, Hara party pictures, mannequin body and perfect proportions. So it's just talking about her body, which is already such a questionable title. But the comments would read, even years after this, we're interested in her pension, not her fashion. Hara is not normal. She went to a pension that had a bathroom with glass walls with her boyfriend when she was 17 years old. Another article that has nothing to do with Hara, a netizen writes, about Hara's pension. It's not the idols that are going through a hard time, but the company CEOs. Stop backstabbing the companies that helped you rise to fame and treat them well. Kids these days always causing trouble.
Okay. Must be some boomer, right?
Wait, who treating who well?
So
I don't know what's going on with these people. It's just all over the place. Like, really? We're trying to protect the companies? I mean, that happens sometimes, right? That's nothing new.
this comment is about another scandal that was a stupid scandal of another K-pop idol. And the comment reads,
And the companies are usually the bad guys in these situations because they're the ones forcing them to have to pretend not to have a boyfriend, or specifically, it is required that they do not get a boyfriend ever, or don't do anything that would tarnish their image. Like, you're not allowed to do anything that makes it seem like you're not pure and innocent and whatnot, right? Well, outside in the real world, I guess whatever happens on stage doesn't count.
these K-pop idols are ruining these SM Entertainment and all these entertainment company CEOs' lives by creating these scandals. There is a talk show called Radio Host, where celebrities will be interviewed by other celebrities, or they call them MCs. At one point, they were, to a degree, considered the talk show that was not afraid to ask tough questions for celebrities. Hara was going to be on the show, and from the get-go, the show gets off to an intense start. The host's label in front of her face on TV, Hara as a relationship idol. I guess implying that she's not known for her talent or her skill or for her music, but she's mainly known for her series of alleged relationships and relationship scandals. Side note, this is after Hara and her fellow idol boyfriend highlight member break up. Hara was actually spotted out with another idol around that time, and they were just grabbing lunch. I saw the paparazzi pictures. They look pretty platonic. They look like friends grabbing lunch, which even if they're not, even if they are dating, doesn't matter. But every single thing that Hara did, every interaction with any man is scrutinized. So of course, when these pictures come out, the comments read, it hasn't even been that long since she broke up with Chunyoung, her ex. If they really are dating, Hara moves on so fast. This guy can do so much better. I say this as a fan of the male idol. You can date girls. Just date girls on your level. Hara's not on your level, meaning she's beneath him. Another reads, don't care, but he can do so much better. She was in and out of a pension with a man since junior high and then dated Chunyoung not too long after her debut, and here she is with another man. She's one of those typical girls who just can't live without a guy.
That is so crazy because in America, when a celebrity gets in a relationship, most of the time people are very happy.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a good thing for them, right? Like relationship usually helps their career.
Yeah.
But in Korea, it's like that it's the end.
It's so crazy. I find it a red flag when there are K-pop stans that hate idols being in relationships. Maybe if they're in a relationship with someone really dangerous or problematic, that's one thing. But if it's the idea of them dating, is just bizarre.
Do I roll that back to someone dangerous or someone bad? What was that guy's name? I don't remember. Whoever Britney was dating, like Britney Spears was dating back in the day, right? and he kind of was just a gold digger, right? I feel like I should be able to remember his name, but I don't remember his name. It's been so long since we had any of those kind of like celebrity nonsense going on. But I feel like it's just out of my reach. This guy's name, Kevin Federline, was that it? I feel like that was his name. Let's just assume it was Kevin Federline. I don't know how I just yoinked that out of the aether, but I think that was him. Like he was a scumbag, right? Like that's acceptable to be like, hey, you can do better than this scumbag.
It's pretty clear that Hara knows that the hosts of the show are going to try and talk to her about these incidents.
Let me see something. Yeah, I was just making sure that was right. Yeah, Kevin Federline is who I was thinking of. Again, I can't believe I just yoinked that out of thin air, that man's name, which I have not heard spoken in probably like 20 years, right? And yet, just like that, just out of thin air.
Like that's one thing, but if it's the idea of them dating,
Yeah.
is just bizarre. It's pretty clear that Hara knows that the hosts of the show are going to try and talk to her about these incidents, and she's not wrong. Kuhara is instantly uncomfortable when the hosts turn their attention to her, and they start off by saying that Hara was scared to be on radio host, and they're joking about it. They're like hee-hee-haing, but they say that in and of itself is telling because a guilty conscience needs no accuser. What are you scared of if you have nothing to hide? One of the hosts straight up asks her, what questions are you the most scared of? If you tell us, just don't talk about this, we won't talk about it. Hara responds, you're still gonna ask about it anyway, even if I say. And the whole time she's smiling, she's playing along, she's not trying to kill the energy and be firm like, no, this is my boundary. She's being very cordial. No, we won't ask about it if you tell us. Dating, I don't wanna talk about dating. The male host responds, oh, that would take too long anyway.
What?
Which part or person do you not want us to talk about? I don't have anything to talk about. Why do you guys keep doing that to me? It's because if we take out the dating conversations when we talk to girl groups, then there's not really anything we can talk about.
Wow.
One of the hosts, who has since regretted his statements, turns to her and says, oh, she's like the dating idol. I'm the what? The dating idol. I'm not. Hara has a water bottle in her hand and she slides it across the table. I almost missed it because she doesn't chuck it, she doesn't throw it, she doesn't even slide it with much force. It's very like, stop. It's like if you were to throw a tissue at someone or to kind of gently tap someone's arm, like, stop it.
Yeah, it seems playful, but why is it not? Why is
It's
it?
more of the action that signals something rather than she's trying to hurt somebody. Remember this bottle.
Why?
She pushes the bottle to the host that calls her the dating idol, and she's trying to laugh it off. But the host
Yeah, I mean, she sounds like she's trying her best to just go with the flow, even though she probably doesn't want to be there.
all seem shocked that she threw the bottle.
This is
I don't know. That seems pretty normal. That's a pretty normal, playful thing, I feel like.
crazy. Like,
Oh,
like obviously she's like saying no. Like, how much more do you want someone to say no to? And then she gets called out for being not nice or
oh, that's nothing. She's gonna have to formally apologize.
For throwing the water bottle in a playful manner. I mean, maybe it's unprofessional, but I mean, everyone here is being unprofessional, right? So who cares?
In a joking way, the host said, oh, you're giving this to us for him to drink it, right? Headlines will read, Kuhara gifts host with a drink, and they're all laughing. So you don't want us to talk about your dating? Yes, because even if we open the door and I talk about it, there's going to be weird articles written about it. Listen, some advice. Typically, once articles keep coming out, people stop caring so much. But interestingly enough, I looked into it and your relationship life doesn't seem as passionate as one might imagine. As I've said
What do you mean by passionate?
before, our Japanese promotions were very long, and that's all I'm going to say about that. The hosts joke that throughout the show, they're going to keep asking her. They literally say in front of her, it's okay. During the rest of the show, we'll keep nudging her to talk about it gently, like here and there. And she just laughs and says, no, please, no. One of the hosts pulls out his cards, like half of his cards that he's reading questions off of. Because you know those talk shows, they have the little key cards. And he says, well, if we don't ask about Hara's dating life, I guess half these cards are gone. Up until this point, it's a little awkward. You can tell Hara does not want to talk about these certain things, but the way that the both sides are playing it off, maybe you could pass it off as like one hee-hee joke.
Yeah, I mean, what we've seen is she does seem to be putting up a decent, oh, we're just having fun face, but you could just assume that she's not having a good time, obviously. It's probably miserable on the inside, but she's a idol, so she probably knows how to have a good poker face, question mark.
The 4 male hosts and Hara. And it is, up until this point again, it's not uncomfortable to watch because she's trying so hard to nicely, very professionally, and without killing this lighthearted atmosphere.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be like incredibly uncomfortable or like noticeably uncomfortable or just incredibly awkward. It just seems
She's
goofy.
trying to set a boundary. But the tone starts to shift when the girls reveal that one of the male hosts came to see them in the dressing room before the show.
Okay, what did they want? I mean, she doesn't seem angry either. If she was visibly angry, then that would also kill the vibe, right?
To which the guy MCs poke fun at the fact that the senior went to go say hi to the juniors. In Korean culture, typically the younger person or the junior in the industry has to go to the seniors and like insa, like say hello, thank you for having me.
Wait, they brought this up in the middle of the show?
The girls brought it up and said, oh yeah, earlier when he came to visit us in the dressing room, and then the male MCs are like, wait, the senior went to say hi to you juniors?
Wow.
And the girls are freaking out and they're all waving their hand. No. We were getting ready because immediately this is gonna look really bad on news.
And they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Like they are purposefully like setting them up right now.
Yes, and I know for maybe not a Korean audience, it sounds like, why would that be a setup? But
Yeah, it doesn't sound like anything, but
in Korea,
it's
these
huge
types of
deal.
honorifics, it's basically going up to your boss and being like that's literally what they're saying.
No, worse than that. It's
Yeah.
like a person without manner, just rude,
Disrespectful.
disgusting, disrespectful. Yeah.
Thinks they're the shit, thinks that they rule the world. Like
Yeah.
it's giving a very bad connotation. And the girls, of course, they start freaking out. They're waving their hand. No. We were getting ready to come say hi. We were getting ready first, but we had to get ready first. Then another one of the Kara members reveals that one of the hosts came to say hi and Hara told him, please go easy on us. Like our personal lives, let's just keep it personal. But instantly, that's the first thing you guys bring up. Like the girls are bringing this up, very lighthearted. Like again, we told you not to talk about it, and that's the first thing you brought up.
yeah, they're kind of like nudging, continuing to nudge, be like, hey, can you stop? Without just outright saying stop.
Why are you guys doing this? But again, it's presented in such a graceful, classy manner. But the hosts don't like this, is what I get. It's purely a guess, obviously, but this is kind of where the tone of the episode starts shifting. One of the male hosts turns to the co-host and says, I heard you know a lot about their personal lives. The male host looks very tense and he says, if I open my mouth, I can end Hara.
Why do you say that? I mean, you could say it in a goofy way, but she's saying this in like a serious way, so did they say it like that? Which you can argue that's all. It's like dark humor at that point. But is it?
Instantly, Hara stands up, and again, she's smiling. She's still using her aegyo voice, which in Korea is like soft, cute voice. It's like she's joking angry. Like, stop it! What do you mean, end me? Like, Oppa, you can't be 100% confident either. She starts laughing and fanning her face, and the hosts start cracking up, and the guys just reassure her that he's joking. But Hara sits back down and turns around in her seat. She's facing away from the cameras, and slowly the room goes silent. Wait, are you actually crying right now? Hara turns around smiling and wipes a tear from her eyes and goes, sorry, I was just really angry. One of the other Kara members goes to grab a tissue, and another one is smiling and tells the host, oh, you guys took it a little too far. And if anything, the male hosts look very uncomfortable, almost shocked at the outcome of this, as if the girls did not give them repeated signs and clear boundaries that they did not want to talk about this. The hosts try to lighten the mood by saying the show has a history of making people cry. But either way, it's bad. I mean, even what he said about if I open my mouth, I can end Hara, the implication of that, it's not a question of if Hara is doing something that the public would not like. It frames the situation as she is. You just
Yeah.
just don't know about it.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
she definitely is.
And you can't even
disprove that.
Yeah, exactly. That's all people are gonna talk about now.
Yeah. Now, a few things.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's already said that opens up the can of worms to like tabloids just to be like, wait, what did he mean by that? We need to figure out what he meant by that so we can throw her under the bus.
To note, the whole time Hara remains completely civil, professional, sweet. She's using aegyo the entire time, even when she's trying to indicate that she does not want to talk about this. She's playing along. She does not kill the mood. She does not make anyone feel uncomfortable. Even when she's crying, she's laughing it off and saying, sorry, I was just too angry. She's not being somber in the corner, like crying, like, why are you guys doing this to me? It's not like that. She honestly held herself with so much grace considering the situation. At this point, a few things to remember. Again, in the K-pop world, dating is not the same as Hollywood. It is a scandal. Even talking about allegations of dating is intense. Hara is already being bullied. She likely felt immense anxiety at even the mention of the word dating because every time that word gets brought up, she can probably see all the hate comments, the cyberbullying, the lost ambassadorships, just her whole career that she's worked her whole life for going down the drain. For what? For allegations of dating? She's trying to tell the host nicely not to talk about it, but instead they make jokes. They hint at the fact that they know things that would end her career, insinuating she's doing bad things. I mean, watching this clip, I just don't see how anyone would not feel for Hara's frustration or side with her.
I don't know if this show's always like that though. Is this just these guys' shtick? Is that they just try to push these celebs to the edge and see what happens? Is that just their shtick? I mean, obviously, I don't know anything about that. I don't know if anyone else knows anything about this group either. I feel like that might just be their thing. Doesn't mean it is right, but it seems like that's just their whole shtick. Also, again, the whole thing of South Korea potentially having a quote-unquote misogyny problem, but I don't think that's what this is. It's similar to that. Like, not knowing how to speak to others, specifically women even. So it's almost like incel adjacent, but we can't just like label everybody an incel or misogynistic. That's crazy. I don't know how to like describe what I'm talking about. 'Cause if it's not just a shtick, it almost you can assume it's just they don't have the right communication skills to know like or empathy to read that hey, we should stop doing this. If they genuinely didn't know that there's issues with that. So they have just like, again, communication issues, empathy issues, and whatnot.
Side note, the host will later state that the episodes are scripted. So the male host said, the one that said he could open his mouth and end Kuhara, he said that all of it was scripted. He has since apologized and he actually did leave the show because he just felt very uncomfortable, apparently. Some say
How is it scripted if she was like literally crying?
he left because military enlistment, I don't know. But the comments at the time read, the male host obviously looked very taken aback. I mean, look at his facial expression. It got tense. Did she seriously throw a water bottle in front of so many of these huge seniors? So she was sitting next to JYP, which is also a huge name in the industry. He said like 0 during this entire conversation. They keep bringing JYP up. How is she doing this in front of JYP? What's the point of even coming onto the show if you're going to act like this? It's not like she doesn't know what the show is about. Which, side note, like I said, the water bottle throwing, you can't even really call it that.
Yeah, it's just playful, if you want to go there, playful female behavior. That seems just like pretty normal to me. Just every another Tuesday, right?
Like, you really can't. Also, you think Hara has a choice in the show she goes on? Her agency very likely told her, you're going on this show. Another comment reads, this is the first time I changed the channel while watching RaleyDrew. I never really cared for Kara or hated on them in particular, but their attitude is just ridiculous. I could feel the male host in shock. So many industry seniors and they dare act with such disrespect. They need to be taught immediately. They're so disrespectful.
Also, she herself has said that South Korea has this like obsession with sons. So I'm assuming that also plays a factor in this, where a lot of the people are siding with the men, right, rather than the women. It's just more deep-seated stuff in the culture.
Another reads, kids these days, Kuhara, I heard you bought $1 million building. If you make that much money without having any talent whatsoever, you can handle shit like this without crying. Another reads, empty-headed with no talent whatsoever as a singer. Seems like these girls think they're worse shit just because they're a bit popular. Who do they even think they are? I really am not the type to leave comments like this, but I'm just too angry. Exactly what do these girls think they are to go around acting like this at a place with so many seniors sitting around screaming and crying about their own mistakes, accusing a host of not being proud of his own past? And why is Kuhara's face so unnatural? Her eyes are all swollen and it's obvious that she's done some work to her lips. If Hara doesn't want controversy for dating, then please act with some dignity. She cried and ruined the entire atmosphere over something that wasn't even a big deal. Obviously, she's hiding something for her to be crying like that. The male MCs, they look so awkward. And who does her fellow member think she is butting in like that, defending her? God, they're such a mess. Another comment just reads, you better answer the questions. Do you think you're a princess or something? You need to provide for the pay you're being given. So disrespectful. Cry all you want, cry for 100 days, your controversies aren't going away. There was a netizen poll done around the time where people were asked if they believed the MCs if they crossed the line or if Kuhara crossed the line. 91% of netizens that answered the poll thought Hara crossed the line.
Jesus. I'm assuming this is all Korean. This was a Korean poll, because if anyone, well, I mean, it's not like all K-pop stans are Korean, right? I mean, it's a lot of people all over the world. So just if you become a K-pop stan, do you just become crazy automatically? Does that just come with your obsession with K-pop? It's just your mind. You just lose it, just like that.
Hara had to formally apologize for crying on the talk show and formally apologize for not being professional after being harassed. Yeah, she had to apologize for making the male host feel uncomfortable. Side note, if you compare Hara's comments from her segment on Radio Host to interviews that her ex-boyfriend from Highlight did after their breakup, they should be the same, right? He should also be considered just as controversial as her, just as girl-obsessed, because it takes two people to date. The comments on the segment read, it's been so long since he and Hara broke up. Leave him alone. See, this is why celebrities don't want to be public with their dating life. It gets used against them over and over again on shows like this. I always thought he could do better anyway. Let's move on from these comments. This is the best RaleyDrew could come up with, asking about Kuhara. Kuhara isn't even relevant these days.
Oh wait, so he went on Radio
Host as well.
But these are the comments.
Yes.
People are defending him.
Yeah. They comment, Chunyoung has achieved so much in his career, and yet they ask him these low-grade questions about his dating life and Kuhara. Why would the host even think that's appropriate to ask about Kuhara? How would he feel if someone grilled him about his ex-wife? 5 years after Kuhara's appearance on Radio Host, in 2018, a new Google trending search result gains traction. You know how if a lot of people Google something, it becomes a trending search? The trending search in South Korea becomes Kuhara video.
What does it mean? It's the burning sun? Is that what we're going to say? This is a burning sun video of her? I mean, that would make sense why she, deleted, but self-deleted. So this has to somehow tie back to the burning sun somehow, right? Because we've been talking just about K-pop stuff for most of this video. I'm guessing now we're tying this back to the burning sun, and this is going to be a video that was leaked from what happened there.
The second trending search is Kuhara video, Kuhara relationship. There were threads on forums dedicated to the trending search, and they read, where can I watch the actual video? I want to see it. Does somebody know where I can find it? The sick part of all of this is Kuhara never wanted this video to be seen. The quote, video in question is actually revenge explicit material. Videos taken of her doing intimate acts without her consent that she is being blackmailed by. Kuhara filed a police report and news broke, and a lot of netizens, not only do they not feel sympathy for her, but they want to watch it. The whole situation with the search trends starts with the assault case between Kuhara and her ex-boyfriend. He's a hairstylist that we are going to be calling CJ. This all starts unraveling September 2018. This is from the beginning of the episode. And I'm going to tell you how it's reported, because during the unraveling of the situation, there were a lot of people switching sides. The tides just keep turning. Obviously, hindsight is 2020, but at the time, I think it's important to note the types of comments that Hara is getting throughout this whole situation. Initially, reports start coming out that Hara assaulted her boyfriend for breaking up with her.
We're back to that part where he was covered in blood and all that nonsense. Well, not covered in blood, but he had decent blood on his face.
I will say, after this one singular report, Hara receives a lot of hate because, the only report there is as of this point is that she hit her boyfriend. But even then, some netizen comments are just questionable. They write pension, cigarettes, living together, violence. The answer's all there. She's crazy. She just dates nonstop, as if she cares anymore about what the news says about her. She's rich enough to own a building.
You kind of should not care about what is being said about you to a certain extent, question mark.
Reads, I heard she does drugs, so her boyfriend wants to break up with her and she goes to the extreme to get him to stay. But that same day, a second report is released, a very short one. This time it states that Hara has reported to the police that this was a two-sided assault case. She told authorities that it was CJ that hit and kicked her first. The Gangnam police seem to agree with the fact that they both harmed each other because the Gangnam police would later report it appears both parties assaulted one another.
Okay, weird that they are admitting that, since we don't know if this is them covering up, but I'm guessing because it isn't directly linked to the burning sun, there's nothing they have to cover up.
And this causes even more confusion amongst the netizens. There are a few groups of people now. People that support Hara, people that support neither and think that physical violence is never okay regardless of who started it and who ended it. And people who are questioning both parties' stories, saying, I personally don't understand the man. Even if she hit him, he basically tattled to the police. Was he not able to resolve it between the two of them? I feel like he's using her status as a celebrity against her.
Yeah, we did say he called the tabloids twice, right? Though I think just even beyond him actually doing that, people would normally just see it as really, she beat you up and you snitched. Since usually, that's just we're on the other end now of things of it's not fair to men. All of this is bad stuff for women, but now we can take it a second to say, okay, this is the double standard there where. If a lot of people say if you get into a fight like this and you don't do anything and the woman really messes you up and you call the police, you're the one going to jail and the woman gets to be free, just because that's just how it's going to be handled. I don't know how accurate that is, but some people feel like that's how it plays out. So him calling the police saying that he was assaulted by her, people are going to see him as weak or less as a man, how could you do that, or etc., etc., etc. I'm assuming that's where this part is coming from. I don't know.
Some people start questioning if Hara's boyfriend even hit her. Why? Were they there? Why would they question if Hara was ever hit? That's such a weird thing. Did they receive special anonymous sources? No. They said, let's be real. The boyfriend let her hit him. If he really wanted to beat her back, she'd be hospitalized right now. She doesn't realize how grateful she should be, but instead she's accusing him of assaulting her too.
Of course, we're on the other end, just back to the incel. Oh, you can't tell. It could be incel or femcel, right? Don't know which one it is talking now.
If he really beat her, she'd be hospitalized and his life would be over. That's gender discrimination for ya. Soon, a third report comes out. This report states that Hara is currently in the hospital. She's currently being treated for injuries sustained from the incident with her boyfriend. She's being treated. Almost immediately after that report is released, Hara's boyfriend, CJ, the hairdresser, sits down with the news network to share his side of the story. He says, I didn't know that me calling the police for both of our safety would become such a big issue. Some of the news reports are reporting things about me that are just completely false without consent, so I decided to do this interview. I didn't break into Hara's house. The passcode for the house is the day we met, and we were using the space together, implying that they moved in together, which is a huge implication in Korean society.
Yeah, that's throwing her under the bus already. All this is throwing her under the bus, but that's really throwing her under the bus.
Before getting married. I'm just shocked by the malicious comments. Currently, I'm unable to receive help from anyone. I don't know what to do. I'm also in pain physically and emotionally. If it's a crime to be the one to request a breakup, then it's my fault. However, it's not a two-sided assault case. We used to be lovers, but now we're separating with scars like this, and it just pains me. I may be a non-celebrity, but I hope that Hara herself will reflect back on this, apart from her status as a celebrity, and apologize to me. For a day or two, the reports go silent. Then, Hara's boyfriend does another interview. This time, he releases pictures of his bloodied face to news outlets. He has 2 scratches on his forehead and 1 above his eye.
Are you really just trying to just soak up all the clout and fame off of this? Like, what was he doing before? He's like a hairdresser or something, a stylist? It seems like he's doing pretty okay, right? I mean, you're dating this, one of the most popular, I don't know if there's one most, but you're dating a popular K-pop idol. Like, do you really need all this publicity?
They're pretty deep, and they look pretty bloody. The article states he also has a 1.5-inch wound under his eyes, bruises and abrasions on his forearms, and a few injuries on his back. The injuries in the picture, I will say, do look intense, and of course netizens turn on Hara. Along with the pictures, Hara's ex-boyfriend gives another statement. He says, and again, this is his second statement, and we have almost no statements from Hara other than her stating that this was a 2-sided assault case. The ex-boyfriend tells the media outlets, I've never thrown a fist at anyone in my life. Moreover, I have never struck a woman like that. If Hara got bruised, it was only through physical contact to calm her down when she hit and scratched me, and it was not caused by my fist or other violence. This is not true, I swear. He also complained that his wounds were so deep that it made social life quite difficult.
I mean, he's the one who can tell the story, so there's not much can be done about this. Just getting in early, so anything she says just seems like a lie, but who knows where this is going to go. When she actually gets out of the hospital, if she ever does, and then tries to tell her story. I mean, we already see it's just incels and femcels across the sea, so they're probably not going to care what she has to say.
Whatever that means. Regardless, a lot of netizens are upset with Hara. Some even argue that Hara had no injuries listed about her face. She showed up to the police station and she had no injuries on her face, but look at his face, he has injuries. They stated that if 2 people are violently assaulting each other in a domestic violence situation, they will go for each other's faces because it's a heightened emotions, which means because she has no scars on her face, he didn't assault her. Which is crazy. People are just exposing themselves as potential domestic abusers because what are you saying? Side note, at this time, Korean news outlets, one of them, they used this picture for the article, which is of Hara allegedly assaulting her boyfriend, but the picture is from Hara on a variety show, boxing another contestant, and it's a mid-action shot where she looks like she's about to punch the other contestant, and I'm sure it's all fun and games, like it's within the game parameters, like that's what she's supposed to do.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know why that's even like something you'd have to think about, or where is this going to go?
But to use that in an article about domestic violence where it's questioned right now who the assaulter is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they were just trying to be as edgy as possible, whatever it takes to get the views, the reads, etc., right? That's just all that, that's just where that was.
Yeah.
She could be
Insensitive is the word.
a victim. She could be the pure assault. We don't know anything at this point, technically. But they use that picture of her. Other netizens speculated that the injuries on CJ are so bad, so strong, that no girl can do that. No skinny K-pop idol can do that. So that leads netizens to believe and openly speculate.
I mean, how long are her nails? What are you talking about? Women have like 1-2 inch long nails a lot of the times. Easily gash a guy with that. Hello?
Hara must be on drugs. Drugs give you superhuman strength. That's the only way you can inflict those injuries on a full-grown man.
Since when? Drugs give superpowers? When did that start happening, huh?
Hara then releases her side of the story with dispatch. She does not come alone either. She brings her roommate. Let's call her Bella. They call her Mrs. B in the media files. Bella is Hara's roommate, and she was there when the assault took place. Hara brings her phone with messages between her and CJ, her ex. She brings her full medical records, a full account of what happened that night. The 2 girls tell dispatch, this is what happened. And it all starts because of a work lunch appointment.
Okay, so are they going to be on her side now? I mean, they haven't been on her side this entire, I don't know, half a decade, but will they finally be on her side? I'm assuming not, since she leaves this world soon.
A few days before the incident, Hara had to go to lunch with her manager and a guy who also works in the industry. So literally it'd be like going to lunch with your male coworker. And it's not even just a guy that works in the industry. She's supposed to do a photo shoot with him. She's not even that close with him, and they had this upcoming photo shoot. So this lunch, they're going over all the details with the manager. But Hara knows the minute she even mentions that another guy is going to be there, that it's not just her and her manager, it's going to be a whole thing. CJ is going to blow it up into some big deal, and they're going to fight over it, and she just omits that detail. She tells dispatch, he's usually very good to me. He's caring, but whenever any guys come up, we fight. If I get a call from a close colleague or an oppa, he becomes very scary. He says things that shouldn't be said. I didn't want to fight because of that, so that's why I didn't tell him if there were going to be guys at that meeting.
Yeah, it's just like toxic relationship stuff, which again, I think that's just deep-seated. It feels like, again, the incel culture that seems to be really high up there. Even the femcells, which might just be because of the obsession with sons for some reason. Like she keeps saying that there's obsession with babying and protecting sons. Uh, it just seems to be all around something with the culture is causing it. So that's why I would assume he's like this. It's just because this might even be normal for them. I'm not saying it's good. I mean, this is considered a toxic relationship, toxic behavior to be this obsessive like that about your significant other just being around the opposite sex or even the same sex, if that's applicable. Oh my god, I can't say the word. Applicable, if that's applicable in the situation.
It was the same day. I just didn't want to cause any trouble that day. Bella butts in. He was suspicious of even all of her work relationships. He always checked on her by asking, who is he? What are you doing? And if she went drinking, he would say really harsh things, disturbing things that are difficult to hear. Hara would lie because she didn't want to fight, and the vicious cycle would just repeat itself. Actually, Hara once tried to break up with him, and she wrote a letter saying, let's just end it here. And he burned it in the restroom. In summary, the guy loses his mind if she's around another man, and he seems terrifying when he's mad, which is why Kuara tells him she's just going to lunch with her manager. He finds out. He finds out that there's another guy there, and instead of self-reflecting on why his girlfriend might feel the need to lie to him, he blows up. Hara tries to visit him 2 days after the lunch to try and explain to him why she hid it from him, explain the situation, but he doesn't want to hear it. He kicks her out. He does not talk to her for the rest of the day until 12:30 in the morning. CJ gets drunk, shows up at Kuara's house. He gets in through the front door because he knows her house key code. Most Korean residences have a keypad instead of a key. He punches in the code, lets himself in, and starts looking for Kuara. Hara is sleeping in her roommate's room that night. They both just fell asleep, talking to each other, hanging out. He finds her, and he's standing over the two girls, and he starts using his foot to kick Hara. He's pissed. He's kicking her nonstop. Are you sleeping? You're able to really sleep right now, huh? The roommate, Bella, wakes up, but it's so uncomfortable, so she just pretends to still be asleep. And she says that he sounded very, very drunk. Eventually, Hara gets up and tries to talk to him, but he's getting very emotional. The two of them leave the roommate's room to figure it out in private, and Bella can hear them. And at first, it sounds like muffling, like they're arguing, but trying to keep it down. Slowly, it turns into full-blown fighting, and not just screaming, but Bella can hear things being thrown, can hear people being slapped. She can hear furniture being broken.
Okay, before we keep going, I completely forgot how we tangent off into this fight that's happening now. This has to do with the video of her that's being passed around, and that's where we started, and now we've gotten to this point. So I'm assuming at this point, once this is all over, and we've resolved this, he's going to leak that or something, and then that's how we get to that point of everyone asking around for it and it being up in the air somewhere. I don't know if that was from the Burning Sun or or if she went to the Burning Sun or what's going on there. Because we still don't know how this all comes together for the Burning Sun, right?
Outside, CJ is grabbing Hara by the hair, throwing her around. Hara is fighting back, trying to get him off of her. He has scratches on his face. He throws Hara up against the wall and throws a pretty big air purifier at her, which air purifiers are the size of small carry-on suitcases, like the one it's pictured. They're not small little humidifiers. He starts pushing her, swearing at her, and Hara fights back. She screams, "Who are you to push me? Who are you to curse at me?" Which I think in English, it sounds very much like, "Who are you? I'm better than you. Who are you? You're nothing," right? But in Korean, it's a little bit different. There's some missing context. It's typically used more in the sense of, "No, I'm not going to put up with this treatment." Like, it's almost like self-talk.
Yeah.
It's like, "Who are you? Like, I'm not going to take this from someone. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to stand up." Rather than, "I'm better than you, who are you?" Like, it's not like that, but he does kind of try to spin it like that later. Bella rushes out of the room, and Bella sees in Hara's room the whiteboard on the wall knocked off. The door is broken. The air purifier is partially broken. Hara's face is swollen. Her jaw looks messed up. Her arms and legs are swollen and scratched. And CJ tells Hara, "I'm going to f you over. I'm going to make sure your career's over." Eventually, things calm down, enough so that CJ starts gathering up all of his stuff. He starts...
Wait, y'all left him in here? I mean, I guess there's not much you can do other than, like, I don't know, not killing him, but, like, brandishing a weapon and then telling him to leave.
making his way down to his car. And to back that up, there is CCTV footage of both of them in the elevator at around 1:20 in the morning. They're both standing in the elevator, somewhat analyzing their wounds in the elevator mirrors. CJ is carrying luggage, and again, presumably his luggage after breaking up with Hara, and he's smoking a cigarette in the elevator, which, side note, a lot of K-netizens pick up on this detail. So first of all, you're not allowed to smoke in elevators.
I mean, I was like, I was thinking, like, you're allowed to smoke in the elevator? What?
And second of all, in Korean culture, it's just considered a man who smokes in front of a woman, especially a romantic partner, unless that woman smokes, it's a very stereotypical guy image you get. Like, it's a very specific man who does that. And he's just like smoking in the elevator in front of her. It's just, it's kind of like, I guess, a trashy look. So that gets used as evidence later.
I mean, that makes sense.
But I'm just bringing it up because there's a lot of discourse. Anyway, CCTV footage shows them heading into the parking lot where CJ gets into his car, turns it on, and he just sits in his car idling for a little bit. He's sitting there at 1:26 a.m. sending an email.
Yeah, he said he's going to ruin her career, right? So we know that's going to go somewhere.
Keep this detail in mind. This email is very important.
No
Is it the video?
way.
Then he drives off and texts Hara once he's gone. He just texts her, no words, 2 files, 2 video files. The first one is a 30-second clip of them being intimate, then another 8-second clip. It is a threat without words. Yeah, it's a threat without words, but he tries to spin it. Just wait. Kuhara does not respond because she's busy calling the guy that she had lunch with, the male coworker. There's a lot to unpack here, but it appears that him sending this message to her, sending her the videos after their fight, it's definitely a, hey, look, I'm going to spread these. Look what I have over you.
He's a coworker, so she's calling the coworker to be like, okay, something bad's about to happen. We need to get on this, right? We need to get management on this as soon as possible.
Why does Kuara immediately call the guy that she and her manager had lunch with? Because previously, CJ told her that he wants both of them, Hara and the guy coworker, to get on their knees and beg him for forgiveness for that lunch. Kuara is trying to give this unhinged blackmailer what he wants because he's threatening her. But because she's calling this guy, she's not responding to his text messages. And every time CJ calls her, her phone has a busy tone and he texts her a few minutes later. You're like a real estate agent, unreachable. I'm wondering why I have to wait. You said to come. I can come to you. Never mind. My trust was broken because I can't reach you. So you're just gonna leave? You told me to make the call to the guy. You sure are on your phone for a long time. Squiggle, squiggle. Like he's trying to make it very passive aggressive.
Wait, so at this point, Gohara is trying to call the guy
To come.
to apologize to him?
I'm sure she's trying to explain, and this would be like the world's biggest favor. And I'm sure as like a fellow industry professional, he probably.
I mean, he also could just like beat this guy up too, like the friend could come over and beat this guy up, teach him a lesson. Who knows?
Would have,
Yeah, but
because
that
Can also be protection for if another scrap happens.
just shows how desperate she was.
she even calls the head of her former agency, but it's like 2 a.m. No one's picking up. She said, you told me to tell him the whole story so he would come and kneel. Let's meet and talk. He said he's coming. He said he's almost arriving. Talk? I don't want to talk. Why should I talk? Like I said, I'll have him kneel before you. What difference would that make? You said that's what you want. CJ then sends a picture of a scratch on his forehead, and he continues to make sarcastic remarks. He also sends a photo of him calling her and she's not picking up. He texts, looks like you're busy. You said let's meet. I guess I'll just do my own thing from now on then.
So sorry, do we know who he is?
Oh yeah. He's Choi Jung-bum. He's a hairstylist in Gangnam.
His information is out there?
Oh yeah.
Is he still out and about?
He was, but now he's like pretty under the radar.
But there's nothing, he's not like charged with anything though.
He does later. He gets charged, yeah. But it's a whole thing. The judge is crazy. Everybody's crazy.
Why does everybody have to be crazy all the time?
Like, it's never ending. Just when you think, wow, justice came late, but maybe we'll get some justice. No. She texts, where are you? I'll come to you. He sends a picture of his face. Even if I wash my face, I can't go to work thanks to you. Oh, sorry. You're probably meeting that guy of yours. Sorry to interrupt your nightlife. I just wanted to ask you what I should do about my face. She doesn't respond, and 2 minutes later, he texts again. Hello? If you don't respond, I'm just going to go to the police. He ends up coming back to her place, and she does indeed get on her knees as evidenced by the CCTV footage. The guy friend does not show up. I don't know if she told him not to. I don't know if he was still on his way.
I'm assuming that she didn't because the management was picking up, right? I'm assuming he didn't even pick up. Like, she was trying to call him, right? I assume she just never actually got a hold of him.
But he calls the police and accuses her of being an abuser anyway. He conveniently makes no mention of his blackmailing or threats. Hara states, the video and pictures were taken without her consent or awareness. She says she's ready to face the consequences of assaulting him as well in this two-sided assault situation, but she says, he threatened me with the video. For a female entertainer, what could be more terrifying? I acknowledge the hurt I caused. I will be punished for it, but what about the other hurt he caused me? He's a blackmailer. Her medical records also that she gave to Dispatch, which is saying a lot on how desperate she was to get the truth out there. Dispatch is a tabloid that ruins people's lives. The fact that she trusted them and went to them is like, she is truly just like trying to get the news out there.
Listen, how do people feel about TMZ now? Is TMZ even still around? I feel like they are, right? Because I feel like back in the day they were considered scum. Are they still considered scum? Question mark. Are paparazzi still a really big deal? Like a really bad thing? Like in America specifically? I don't know any of that stuff anymore. Because I don't watch. That was just more stuff if you're watching TV all the time. TMZ actually used to come on. What station did TMZ show up on? Did they have their own channel, or was it just... I don't think they had their own channel. There was just a TMZ episode. That would come up on some channel. I don't know which one it was. It could have been anything at this point. It's been so long. Since I've watched just standard television. But yeah, is TMZ still considered scum?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, please, someone needs to believe me. Because, tabloids, celebrities, they have very tense relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Doctors listed on the reports that Hara suffered from uterus and vaginal bleeding, multiple forearm sprains, seizures, and more. The vaginal bleeding is unexplained, whether it's from trauma or from any other condition, but it is stated in her records. Dispatch releases pictures that shows all the bruises on her arms, legs, wrist, hands, knees, ankles. It's pretty intense. The bruises aren't even just brown. They're bright red, like blood blotches all over her body. And for the few netizens that still don't like Hara for some bizarre reason, further proof that she's telling the truth, CJ, Hara's ex-boyfriend, sent 2 emails to Dispatch, the same tabloid, that night.
Hara came out with the piece through
Dispatch.
And then he reached out.
No, he reached out during the assault. The night of the assault. And then later, Hara went to Dispatch, and Dispatch was like, you know what? We trust you also because of this.
Yeah, I think what the situation that's happening here is that he tried to get a hold of them the same day, and then I think he ended up sending this Dispatch the revenge video, and then Hara's like, hey, this is what actually happened, and he's trying to blackmail me and do this other stuff. And they're like, okay, like the tabloids actually like, yeah, we believe you because he literally gave us the revenge video and was trying to get a hold of us a long time ago. So yeah, they see the whole picture, and maybe they're actually going to be good here, or hopefully they don't do anything bad. But I mean, it's tabloid, it's Dispatch, it's what Dispatch I'm guessing is like comparable to TMZ. So I don't know if they're going to do anything good with that.
Okay.
Even
And
if
they're
they
like,
do know.
one of the emails that they received from her ex-boyfriend was at 1:26 a.m. that night before the police are called. This is when he first gets into the car to leave, and he's sitting in the parking lot idling. An email to Tabloid Dispatch reads, "I have a report to make about Kuhara. Please give me a call." The second one is sent at 4:20 a.m., which would have been after the police came. It reads, "Subject, report on Kuhara. Message, it won't disappoint. Please contact me. I can't send videos or pictures right now, but if you don't respond quickly, I'm going to reach out to another network instead. You really won't be disappointed." I will say at this point, either netizens don't know about what's going on, or they're not keeping up with the news, or they're on Kuhara's side. I would imagine if somebody is not, they need a lot of self-reflection. But CJ does not stop. He's on truly some unhinged mission to ruin Kuhara, even if it means taking himself down. CJ, the ex-boyfriend, responds this time with his attorney, and the attorney states, "It is true that the video exists. In terms of how the video came to be filmed, it was Kuhara who wanted to film the video first, and over 80% of the video was led and filmed by her. When my client asked, 'Why are we filming this?' Kuhara replied, 'I want to treasure a loving memory.' While filming, when the phone fell down, Kuhara set it back up. The fact that Kuhara led the filming of the video can easily be confirmed through the video." Okay, but that still doesn't explain the blackmailing with it. It doesn't make sense. Okay, yeah, they filmed it, but he's literally threatening her with it.
Yeah.
The attorney says, if his goal was to leak or exploit the video, wouldn't he have already done so?
Well, he was going to.
Yeah, he
Through
was
the
trying.
email.
I'm sorry he was unsuccessful, but he was trying.
I mean, that's not how like blackmail works, right? I mean, blackmail usually means someone doesn't get to see it because you're getting what you're blackmailing the person for, right? If the video gets leaked, then like, what do you get? You have nothing. You're trying to get something instead of having to leak or blackmail or whatever, right? So that's kind of weird to think about with blackmail, because you're doing something, potentially exposing someone for something, so you can get something out of that person. So how can you prove that they were going to do the thing? How are you going to prove that they were going to leak something when the leaking something wasn't their goal? It was to get something out of the person that you are going to leak. So you can make some sort of dumb leap of logic in court, which is what this attorney's trying to do, right?
But he keeps yapping. Look, they fought because of Kuara's lies and issues with men. When my client stated that he was leaving Kuara because of her lies, she started the fight by grabbing him and saying, "Who are you to leave me?" We will stand by our statement that the assault was one-sided. Kuara's bruises were most likely born when my client held her hand, trying to stop her from attacking, and as she fell and toppled when she tackled him. He did not hit her. Then CJ's attorney tries to guilt trip the public. My client's mother has become ill due to shock after hearing about this, quote, revenge porn issue. He has been holding back in consideration for the other party, but he is now being accused of being a heinous criminal. At the end of this very long, nonsensical statement, the attorney states that CJ, his client, will be suing Kuhara for defamation. In another interview, CJ stands by the argument. The interviewer asks CJ, okay, regardless of if she wanted to film the video or not, like, it is weird to send the video to her after a fight. Like, with no other accompanying message, how is a woman going to interpret that? He defends himself and said, the reason for sending it is, like I said before, it wasn't like I was trying to do something with it. She took it herself, right? And basically, after the fight, I was like consolidating my files and I was deleting files and I was like, okay, I guess I should just send this to her because she's the one that took it. He's basically saying I was Marie Kondoing my phone and I
No clue who that is or what that refers to.
needed her to have it back because she took it. I don't even know why it's on my phone.
I mean, who's gonna even like buy into any of this?
I mean, it's legal nonsense, right? So it's all loopholes. So, I mean, he's probably going to get away with it. It doesn't really matter if she's right. I mean, or if he's wrong, really. It's just set up in a way where he can get away with it. That's just how the law works, unfortunately, I feel like.
The police. The police agree with CJ. During the investigation, the police concluded initially they will change their mind, but they conclude that there is no definitive evidence that CJ was going to intentionally spread the video. He was no longer going to be investigated for violating the Violence Act, aka spreading sexual abuse through explicit videos, aka blackmail, or what used to formerly be known as revenge. He's still going to be investigated for other charges: assault, breaking and entering Hara's home. But a lot of women all over South Korea had a problem with this. They were pissed. They start feeling like, wait, first Kuhara's boyfriend plays victim, calls her the abuser, makes her seem like this crazy girl that doesn't want to let him go. When in reality, he's toxic, he's abusive, maybe not physically up until this point, but that night he was. But so far he's been mentally and emotionally abusive, making her so terrified that she can't even go to a work meeting without lying. Then he publicly shames her, and turns out he was the abuser and he's blackmailing her with these revenge videos, but the police are not going to charge him with that because he only threatened her with it and did not explicitly tell her in words that he was going to spread it.
Yeah, I mean that's not liable, right? Is that how you would say that? It's not liable because he didn't say that he was going to blackmail her. It's just implied, and implied doesn't mean anything, unfortunately.
Even though there are emails to tabloids.
Also, how does this revolve back around to the Burning Sun? I'm simply going to get that in the next 10 minutes because, again, we spent like an hour talking about just this scenario. Not that there's anything wrong with this story. I just don't know where the Burning Sun comes into place. The video's almost over, actually. It's like, what, 12 minutes left?
That states that he has juicy information about her. Like, how much more can a threat and intention be a threat and an intention? A petition was started by K netizens to strengthen the punishment for even the possession of revenge videos, regardless of whether or not it is distributed. The petition gained over 200,000 signatures in 5 days, which is really fast in Korea. And the prosecutors would somewhat listen. The new indictment would state, CJ used his cell phone camera to take pictures of the victim against her will, including her thighs, kicking and cursing at her while she was sleeping, pushing her chest with her hand, dragging her to the closet, kicking her in the stomach. When the victim clawed at the defendant's face, he threatened her by sending her a video via messenger, and he stated to her in person, "I will end your celebrity life." So this whole incident will turn into a massive legal battle that lasts multiple years. But once the initial sympathy for Kuhara dies down, her steadfast haters, who literally have no job but to hate her, they come back out of the woodworks. They will use this situation to call her a boyfriend beater, call her ugly, and a liar.
Of course, we just couldn't have like a moment of peace. Couldn't have people just on her side wholeheartedly. Haters got to come out. The femme and slash incels have to come out.
Kuhara goes silent on social media for a while. And back in November, so a few months after, she comes back with an Instagram picture of, it looks like she's walking into a room, and the room is called the crying room. So she takes a picture of the sign that reads crying room.
What year was this, by the way?
2018. The caption reads, "I'm in pain and I'm tired." A lot of her fans flood the comments. "We'll be with you every step of the way. Please have strength. We're rooting for you." So a lot of her fans are becoming a lot more vocal now. But even after everything she's been through, there are still negative comments that read, "Difficult time, but she still has to update her social media." Crying room? Just stay quiet, you fool. If I were in her shoes, I wouldn't even care about updating social media or taking a picture of some crying room. I feel like she has a different brain setup than us. If you're sane enough to log on to social media and post a picture and write a caption, it's really not hard or difficult for you right now. 8 months later, in 2019, middle of 2019, two things would happen. CJ will make a formal apology on Instagram while the legal case is still ongoing.
Yeah, I'm assuming that he's doing this after she's dead, right? I'm assuming she's died now at this point.
Writes, "I want to sincerely apologize for causing so many people to worry. I wasn't able to respond to messages from friends, acquaintances, and people who love me because my KakaoTalk account was gone. I apologize once again for making so many people worry for so long and for causing disappointment."
Okay, hold on. Maybe this is not has anything to do with that, because now we're talking about that messenger. Is this how we're going to find out that this is all linked to Burning Sun?
"I want to live in repentance for causing such deep disappointment to my peers who trusted and worked with me and the people who supported me and my family. With this kind of heart and with the help and support of others, I've been able to open up a salon after all this time. I'm lacking in a lot of ways, but as always, I will do my best as a stylist. Signed, Choi Jung-pom."
Wait. So he came out to promote his new business?
Yeah. He used his apology, that's not an apology, to soft launch his new hair salon.
Of course, I mean, ukulele all the way, as usual.
It was shut down. Yeah. because
What do you mean it was shut down?
people were like, we're not going there. He had to close it down. Yeah.
Oh.
But around the same time, May 2019, Hara posts on Instagram, I'm tired of pretending that I'm happy and everything is okay. I don't want to cause concern among other people. A few days later, she posts another Instagram picture with just a cryptic word. Goodbye. After seeing that, Hara's manager starts panicking, starts calling her, no response. They drive to Hara's house and find her unconscious and in critical condition. She attempted to self-exit. Thankfully, her manager rushes her to the hospital, and the comments under the articles about her attempted self-exit read, "Attention whore." She'll look back on this in a few years and cringe.
Yeah, I figured it's just gonna be people saying she's just doing it for attention. Of course. What is with this culture?
At herself. The true attention whores never actually die. They feel
And the Korean K-pop stan culture and whatnot. Again, I didn't know they were this crazy. I just knew they were crazy and you need to be scared of them back in the day, like 10 years ago. And it feels like they're still like that now, apparently, since she was still getting haters. Stephanie here was getting haters on this case from what I assume are stans.
feel satisfied with the attention they get from it. No point in worrying about celebrities. They're all rich and live well. They only appear once in a while when they need attention. 2 days after the incident, Hara is basically forced to make a public apology. She says to the media and to the public, "I'm sorry for causing concerns and causing a big deal."
What, she had apologized for trying to suicide? Well, I mean, I'm assuming it's going to happen again because we know that she's dead, so they should just pushed her even further to do it.
In terms of health, I am recovering. I had been in agony over a number of overlapping issues, but from now on, I will strengthen my heart and try to be healthy. And I'm sorry and thank you. I will overcome it harder and show you the best version of me.
Of course, that was probably just saying what she thought people needed to hear, and then she was probably gonna make sure she was gonna be gone next time, though, right?
While all of this is happening to Hara in 2019, reporter Kang is still going through all the USB files. So now the timelines have merged. Hara attempts to self-exit. Reporter Kang is going through JJY's phones, and she's releasing a few little articles about Burning Sun, but like the full depth of Burning Sun is not uncovered yet. She's deep in trying to figure out who the police official is, because there's clear evidence in the chat rooms that they know someone in power that's pulling strings for them. One chat reads, and this seems from context clues to be about maybe a drunk driving issue, from Choi from FT Island. He texts into the chat, "I got a call earlier from Yongsan, the police station." What do they say? "The officer in charge of my case wished me a happy birthday. Ha ha ha." Another text read, "Some came in and took a shitload of photos of the interior of Burning Sun yesterday and snitched on us. But the police prosecutor general said they're snitching because they're jealous, so don't worry about it. He's gonna sort it all out for us. Hee hee." Reporter Kang, she's already released a few articles about the chat rooms, but right now, finding out who their inside connection in the police is the most important part. It's such a crucial part of the investigation. They can't go to the police with the evidence of the chat rooms until they figure out who these officers are and which departments are involved, because if they hand over the evidence now, the police might just cover it up. There's too much on the line to take a chance like that. In 2019, reporter Kang is sitting there pulling her hair out, trying to figure out who this police officer is, when her phone rings.
Okay. Are they gonna be coming for her now?
Hello? There's a soft voice on the other end.
Oh, is it Hara?
Hello, reporter Kang? This is Hara. A K-pop idol reaching out to a reporter is unheard of. And for what? To help. Hara said she wants to help. Hara tells reporter Kang that she read the articles recently released about Seungri, JJY, and Choi. She knew them. They were all friends at one point, and they used to come over to her house and hang out. And she didn't realize at that point, but she does remember now seeing some things on their phone. And it just was weird. Like, I don't think she saw anything crazy, but she was just like, I don't know, the vibes were weird. And I guess with your articles, it just clicked. And I do think something is going on. I think you're right about it. Reporter Kang had never had a K-pop star talk so frankly with her. Usually their image is so tightly managed, they don't speak without attorneys or without a prepared statement they don't deviate from. Maybe it's something in Hara that makes reporter Kang just trust her. Because technically, she could have been told by the guys to call if they're all friends. But reporter Kang trusts her, and she says To be honest, Hara, I am not getting anywhere with this case. No one's taking my calls. Hara is quiet and says, well, I want to help. I don't know how much of a help I can be, but I want to help. There is something Hara can do for reporter King. She needs a name. The name of the police official. It's never mentioned in the messages. Clearly, reporter King can't ask the police. She can't ask sources without tipping these involved off.
How does Hara know? She just knows that they have a friend. I mean, maybe she just knows that they're friends with a specific guy, and they know that that guy is this position in the police force, and that's why she technically knows who it is, unless she's gonna go undercover somehow.
She can't ask the parties involved, obviously, like they're gonna tell her. She tells Hara, in the Kakao messages, they keep referring to a police contact that makes their problems magically go away. Someone they call the police prosecutor general. He helped with drunk driving charges and other fines, just making them vanish. Can you get me the name of the police official? Hara is rather friendly with most of the idols involved, and this is before she knew what they were doing with Burning Sun. I mean, it's a small industry, so everyone was kind of friendly with them. But she was actually pretty good friends with Choi from FD Island, who is also involved in the chat rooms. They were close even during their training days, and likely they probably trauma bonded through what they had to go through to become idols. And I'm sure Hara, even after what she went through with her own situation with her ex-boyfriend, she likely has a lot of sense of feelings of betrayal for what Choi is accused of doing at this point, because this is her friend. He's a good friend that's accused of committing very similar acts to what her boyfriend did to her. It's a lot to deal with, but she tells reporter Kang she's gonna get Choi on the phone and they can record it. Hara manages to get Choi on the phone and tells him, she doesn't lie to him, she doesn't secretly record him, she convinces him to tell journalist Kang what he knows about the police official.
Why would he do that? Why would he just openly just be like, okay, just tell her everything? I'm trying to figure out like why he would just give. I mean, I guess if your back's against the ropes and you're just like, okay, we're already screwed anyways, I might as well just come clean. Maybe it'll make it easier on me, right?
She tells him, I can help you. Tell the reporter everything you know. Reporter Kang speaks. It appears he's someone very high up. Choi says, yeah, we actually met once and played a round of golf together. I heard he's currently at the presidential residence working for the president. He did work for the police. It's a police officer named Yoo Kyung-gyun. Side note, I don't want anyone to think Choi messed up, but here he is willing to talk to a reporter and maybe showing remorse. No, it's very clear Hara is the one that made him admit it. Reporter Kang was able to record the conversation, and this was the big break in the case. Kang's reporting on the police officer with connections to the president's office that's helping out K-pop stars who are under investigation for crazy crimes. After that report, a wide police investigation ensues, and the Burning Sun investigation would only grow bigger from there.
Again, I don't know if any police actually got in trouble though as an issue. Like, we know that they're all corrupt, but just the K-pop boys got a few years and that's basically it, right?
But reporter Kang cannot help but wonder, why would Kuhara help her? I mean, don't get me wrong, she's forever grateful, but people in Hara's shoes probably would not, especially right now, not too long after her self-exit attempt, after her countless battles with the media depicting her in this horrendous false light. Why would she reach out to reporter Kang? To have someone in the industry, the inside world, calling a reporter who's in the middle of bringing so many of those people in that industry down, that's a big deal. Reporter Kang said, yeah, it can have been easy for a celebrity to just cold call a reporter the way she did. Hara was incredibly down to earth and brave. I was so grateful she was courageous enough to ask around for my contact number and reach out to me first. She said she wanted to help in any way to reveal the truth, and she was a really, really big help to us. What stays with me is that Hara was the one that persuaded Choi to talk to me.
Again, how did she pull that off though? Which is so weird. Like, how did she do it? I guess we're probably never gonna know, right? But
and within a few months, Kuhara would be dead. And reporter Kang, along with the rest of the public, could not help but notice some very sick parallels. In Kuhara's life and her friend Soli's life, two of the most hated K-pop idols at the time, and the parallels between their scandals, their life, their career, compared to Seungri, JJY, and Choi, some of the most beloved K-pop idols of the time, and how the ones that are actually worthy of love do not get it until it's too late. This is part 1 of this episode. Part 2 will be uploaded on Sunday, where we will cover the new updates of Burning Sun, how all the guys are trying to make a comeback, and the deaths of both Sully and Kuhara. So, please stay safe, and I will see you guys.
Okay, so that was part 2, but I guess part 1 of this section of the Burning Sun, but technically like part 2 of all of the Burning Sun stuff together. And I wasn't expecting it to just be like so much talk about just what was going on, because I didn't know where was the connection to the Burning Sun this entire time, but I guess we got it at the end, kind of. Maybe we'll get more of that in part 2, obviously. But yeah, a lot of just talking about what was happening to Guhara. But yeah, it was just, again, like these stands. Well, again, like I don't live there, so I can't comment on it or how bad it is. I just heard that there is a issue with I don't know, incel behavior, misogyny, and whatnot. And then it seems like we have femcels as well. That the stands here. It's not just on one side; it's both sides, incels and femcels. So I don't want to have to keep using those words so often. I don't know if I've ever said the word incel out loud. I might have used it, but like this is the most I've ever used it in my life. And just assume I've used the word however many times I've used it in this video, plus 1 or 2 in my entire life. So very few times, but I don't know how else to describe it, right? But as you can just see that here, where these K-pop boys are just out of jail, stands are still with them. They don't care what happens, or they deny it. And then on the other side, with the female K-pop stars, they're just like thrown on the bus constantly with no care to them at all. Which is crazy. It's still doing that this like in modern times, right? Because again, K-pop stands were crazy like a decade or so ago. But that's all I knew about K-pop, is that the fans are crazy and they will like literally hunt you down and try to ruin your life if you say anything bad about K-pop. But I didn't realize it was like this crazy, and even probably still that crazy. I feel like it's like just died down. It's just that you don't see them online anymore. At least in Western spaces, you don't see them online anymore. Going nuts or posting like K-pop gifs all over the place, trying to destroy your life. It's more so now just like anime stuff, I think. You have anime stands and haters. Well, I don't even know what it says. Stands. Anime haters trying to destroy you. I think that's the big menace online, is that, or something like that. We're not going to get to that right now. But yeah, it's unfortunate. So if this video wasn't too crazy, or maybe even up to snuff as the other videos, again, I was streaming like 5 hours before this, so I could tell that mentally I was just unable to speak well for most of this video. So sorry about that. Hopefully with the third part, maybe I should just wait for the third part. Like, maybe we'll do the third part not tomorrow, and I'll try to take a break, and maybe a day will make it easier to say something or speak more well during these videos. I mean, I probably will still do another video tomorrow, maybe that Lazy Masquerade video, their newest video. Or maybe I'll find like a Stephanie Sue video that's like 20 minutes. See if there's anything interesting over there to talk about. So it's still just Stephanie, just her actual self-named channel rather than Rotten Mango. We'll see. Just again, it's just, I'm pretty sure today was pretty rough. We didn't really have much to say. I mean, it's been 2 hours, and I did speed this video up at the beginning. I did cut it when we were around 30 minutes or so, so I don't know how much that actually shaved off. Probably like, I don't know, 7-8 minutes of that. So technically this video was like 1 hour and 20 minutes, and we got 2 hours out of it, so that's about normal for me. I would say. But yeah, if this video was rough, my bad. Like, not the video itself, but like me not really having anything decent to say or stuttering too much and not really having clear thoughts. I'm just doing too much, I think. I haven't, and it's 12 at night. I still have to eat dinner. So that's going to happen soon, finally. I mean, that's how much I'm sitting here doing YouTube all day. It's already 12 at night. It's 12 a.m. and I still haven't eaten dinner, so I am going to go do that after I start uploading videos. But yeah, again, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, since if I do take a break, I don't know. I think we should maybe keep the third episode for the future, not tomorrow. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'll have to sleep on it and see how I feel when I wake up tomorrow. What I'm going to do. I feel like I need to wake up early tomorrow so I can start streaming, so I don't waste my booster in Eternal Return. So it's just too much stuff going all around. So maybe I'll still stream tomorrow, and then we'll do something else for the rad video instead. So guys, thanks for watching. Remember to buy my stickers, or think about becoming a member. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because we're working on watch time and subscribers, and we have thrown now as well. And shout out to the members, EmmyStarr and RaleyDrew. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Tune into the next episode. Like, subscribe, comment. You know the do. See ya.